We can now officially say we are in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 release year. That's right, the hype levels are reaching an all-time high, with more and more details coming out every day. And we've been in the weeds finding all the juiciest details, so you don't miss a thing. I'm kind of a slurp, and these are 7 things we know about FNAF Movie 2. Number 7. The set. Now, what would a FNAF movie be without the iconic creepy Fazbear Pizzeria? Well, lucky for us, we already know it's making a comeback thanks to some leaked set images. In the first FNAF movie, the abandoned kids' restaurant didn't exactly come out unscathed. The final showdown between Josh Hutcherson's Mike Schmidt and the killer animatronics left part of the building in ruins, with Matthew Lillard's William Afton seemingly meeting his end.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
But just like the FNAF games, the sequel looks to drag us back to this creepy, crumbling restaurant for even more nightmare-fueled chaos. In the images shared on Twitter, Fazbear's looks even more down bad than it did in the first FNAF movie. There are what appear to be condemnation slips stuck to the front door, which sparked a ton of fan speculation. Some thought there were warnings to keep out, others believe that the building was marked for demolition. But after some images surfaced online, it seems that these leaflets are advertising a celebration called Faz Fest. We have seen Fall Fest in the FNAF universe before, an autumn themed carnival event, so could Faz Fest be connected to that? Well, don't worry, because we'll dive into that later in this video. Zooming in on the set gives us an even better look at the pizzeria's creepy details, like some fresh artwork above the front door featuring the animatronic mascots. We also get a clear shot of the pizzeria sign, showing Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica front and centre, giving us a better look at the set after a few YouTubers, including Dorco, got to visit and share their experience. Drone footage of the restaurant reveals how run down the sequel location is compared to the first film. Vines creeping up the walls, moss filling every crack and crevice. It's eerily creepy, and we are so here for it. Number 6. Fazfest. So as promised, hopping back over to Fazfest because we always stick to our word. Fazfest is set to be an upcoming event featured in the Five Nights at Freddy's cinematic universe, generating significant buzz among fans. The scene kind of gives off vibes from the 3 leaked script pages, one of which was left up to fans to figure out which one was legit. One page has Abby telling Mike that they need to burn all the plushies, maybe one from Fazfest? And Mike calls Vanessa telling her to wear dark clothes because they've got a job to do. Does this mean they're planning on burning down the pizzeria? Cue FNAF Movie 3. Okay, I know it's a bit of a stretch and I'm aware a lot of fans believe that the carousel page from the leaked scripts is the real deal, but what if the plushie one is the actual script instead? Let me know what you think in the comments. Number 5. Mangle vs. Car. According to a leak from Cat Sterling fan on Twitter, the FNAF movie is set to feature a scene where Mangle gets hit by a car and flies through a window. Sounds pretty wild, right? Apparently Vanessa will be behind the wheel and Mangle jumps on the roof of the car only to be hit, sending it flying. Is this legit? Honestly, it sounds like a scene straight out of Willy's Wonderland. But fans have actually found the stunt driver listed on IMDb credited as the stunt driver, Elizabeth Lale. This same source claims that Mike and Abby will be present during this scene and that Mangle is as tall as a small car, which, I don't know, doesn't actually make them that tall, right? But I'm calling it now. If this happens, it will probably be Mike and Abby getting chased out of the pizzeria with Mangle hot on their heels. And then Vanessa swoops in and hits Mangle with a car, and you can cue that get in moment. Still, this raises a lot of questions. Why would Mangle be outside of the pizzeria? How did they escape? And we also can't forget that crazy theory that Susie's dog possesses Mangle. We know that Afton killed Susie's dog by running it over with a car. A brutally cruel act that shows just how far he'll go with his twisted behaviour. While it is heavily implied that Mangle is possessed by one of the children Afton killed, but if that's really Susie's dog, then this car scene might actually be foreshadowing the rumoured car moment in FNAF 2. Now of course this isn't confirmed by the cast or crew, so we'll have to take it with a bit of a pinch of salt for now. Yeah, it sounds goofy, but honestly, I'm kind of here for it. Number 4. A FNAF TV show? Okay, so technically this isn't about the FNAF movie, but the news is way too big not to include, because a FNAF TV show? I mean, come on. It's not exactly shocking to hear rumours swirling about a potential Five Nights at Freddy's TV series. Insider Daniel Richmond claims that talks about a show are happening, but there's not much concrete info on it just yet. And it's not like it's just Daniel talking about this out of nowhere. Creator Scott Cawthon himself has hinted at being open to the idea of continuing the story through a series, and especially after the massive success of the first film. Last August, Cawthon sat down for an interview with Dorko, the YouTuber and FNAF superfan we all know and love. During this nearly hour-long chat, Dorko asked Scott if he'd ever consider a TV show, especially in the vein of an anthology series like the OG Goosebumps. When asked about the idea, Cawthon said that's something that can definitely happen. However, he also emphasised wanting to avoid oversaturating the market with too much FNAF content. Still, he seemed to really like the idea of developing a show, and let's be real, with how much cash the games and movies have ranked in, it felt like the perfect move for Blumhouse to expand the franchise and dive deeper into the lore. But what would you want to see in a FNAF TV series? Drop your ideas in the comments down below. Number 3. The Marionette's debut. The puppet's debut in FNAF Movie 2 isn't exactly a shocker, especially after the first movie's mid-credits scene. Do you remember that haunting moment? A version of My Grandfather's Clock, played with the words "Come find me" over the top. Fans immediately recognised the tune. It's the same one from FNAF 2 that plays from the puppet's music box. The one you have to wind up to keep it from attacking. Such a classic detail, so obviously everyone started theorising like crazy. After the first film, it was pretty clear the puppet was going to be a major player in the FNAF cinematic universe. Fans quickly started connecting it to Mike's brother Garrett. While most of Afton's victims are known to haunt animatronics, Garrett's fate is still a mystery. Did he possess an animatronic? Or did he pass on? That mid-credits scene really has people speculating that the puppet is actually Garrett, trying to reach out to Mike, and to be honest, there is some evidence to support this. In My Grandfather's Clock, aka the puppet music box, you can supposedly hear Garrett's signature whoosh sound at the 2:18 mark. Yes, that same sound effect tied to him playing with his toy aeroplane. Coincidence? Maybe. Creepy? Definitely. And speaking of leaks, there's a rumour circulating on Twitter, courtesy of the same Cat Sterling fan. Apparently in FNAF Movie 2, the puppet is going by its government name, the Marionette. But I mean, that was kind of obvious, right? Even bigger, it said that the Marionette might actually be controlling another one of the animatronics. If true, this is a huge plot twist and could totally change the direction of the story. And we need to talk about Dorko again for a second. During his LA Wildfire Relief charity stream, he revealed another behind the scenes look at FNAF Movie 2. According to yet another leak, thanks again to Cat Sterling fan, the device shown in Dorko's BTS image is supposedly how the puppet communicates with Abby. If that's legit, it raises so many questions about their connection. Like, what's Abby's role in all of this? How does she fit into the story? But hey, that's all just speculation for now. Number 2. Toy Freddy. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 still does seem like a long time away, but hey, at least Blumhouse decided to throw us a little bone to keep us going. Last year at New York Comic Con, we got our very first official look at the sequel to the mega hit adaptation of Scott Cawthon's beloved video game series. And it wasn't just any teaser, it also gave us a major character reveal that's got hardcore fans buzzing. That creepy character lurking in the background? No, not Freddy Fazbear like we expected. Nope, that's Toy Freddy, first introduced in the 2014 FNAF 2 game. Now, why does that matter? Well, Toy Freddy is actually kind of a big deal. He's the newer, revamped version of Freddy Fazbear and was part of the fresh batch of new animatronics from the FNAF franchise in the 80s. And he takes over the role of mascot for the newly renovated Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So maybe someone's planning to reopen Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in this cinematic universe, bringing in a new shiny animatronic, possibly even a more menacing ones than we've already seen before. With Toy Freddy confirmed for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, it's safe to say his toy pals Bonnie, Chica and Foxy will all be joining him in toy form. But hey, if that wasn't enough confirmation for you, it was further confirmed by some very early behind the scenes shots released of Jim Henson's workshop working on the animatronic heads, and one of them is very obviously Toy Bonnie. So yeah, it looked like these characters are definitely making their way back to the big screen. And coming in at number 1, Afton is back. The first official look at Five Nights at Freddy's 2 recently dropped, and it looks like the sequel is diving straight into William Afton's chilling past. The behind the scenes shot shared on Twitter shows Matthew Lillard as Afton standing ominously at the top of a staircase, watching over his daughter Vanessa, played by Elizabeth Lale. This seems to be taking place in their family home. I mean, there's even a photo on the mantle of a man with a blonde-haired child, which screams major backstory vibes. Grandpa Afton, perhaps? Naturally, the FNAF fans are already losing it and debating what this scene could mean. Dorco, during his live stream, seemed convinced it was from a flashback, saying, "Flashback scenes confirmed, we are getting William Afton flashbacks in FNAF 2. Fans seem to agree, with one replying, "There's gotta be a flashback for something, just can't think of what." It would make sense, right? The first movie ended with Vanessa in a coma and Afton bleeding out, left to face the wrath of the 4 vengeful animatronics, so unless there's some wild twist, and let's be real, it's FNAF, so there probably is, it's looking like these characters might only return in flashbacks. But come on, we all know Afton always comes back. For fans though, this image all but confirms that the sequel might lean more towards being a prequel, like the actual second FNAF game. After all, FNAF Game 2 is set in the late 80s and introduces a new security guard working at a different pizzeria, where the animatronics are rocking facial recognition tech, and looking way more withered than before too. So what's your take? Flashbacks, prequel vibes, or both? Let us know in those comments down below. And that wraps up our list of the 7 things you need to know about FNAF Movie 2. Are you hyped for the sequel? We want to hear all your thoughts and theories in that comment section down below. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more FNAF content all the way up until the movie's release. I've been Connor for SLUURP, and I'll see you in the next one.